Hey, so good evening. Thank you for making time for us to discuss heart-based consciousness. I hope that as we had discussed, that we all took time to read the primary session on, the primary topic of entering and using the power of the heart. Because as the Bhagavad Gita really told us, as we read, that even what Jesus came here to tell, even what Jesus came here to tell the people of this earth about the kingdom, when he declared the kingdom, it all leads us to one simple fact that God dwells in the hearts of all beings. God dwells in the hearts of all beings. I hope that you were able to discern it, to get it very clearly. And it is the most humble and but profound realization that you can ever get, that God lives in man, we are one with God, but God dwells within our heart. Now, since again, I see that many of us are from Christian background, I want us to start with a simple exercise. Let us relax, make sure you're relax, sit up straight, without getting ready to do anything. Just relax. Then smile gently, sweetly. Just smile. Gently, slowly. Then with your right hand, move your right hand towards your chest using the two fingers and touch the center of your chest. Touch the center of your chest at about the height of your armpits. At about the height of your armpits, touch the center of your chest. And they tell us where you are touching there is the location of your spiritual heart. So as you touch there, I want you to relax and smile at your heart. Smile at it as much as you can, without thinking about about anything. Just smile at it, don't do anything. Because this is not about doing or trying. Just smile at your heart. I hope that you can do this exercise once in a while to acknowledge your heart, because that's where God is, and to give it some minutes, 2-3 minutes. The other good way is, of course, always start this with the breath, the good breathing exercise. Breathe in and out slowly, like 9 times, 9 to 20 times is always good. Because many of us live this life without being, we are saying heart-based consciousness. So we know what the heart is, best we know, and consciousness, if we remember clearly, I think we did talk about consciousness as that which is aware of itself. When we say you are conscious or unconscious, I'm sure you know what it means. Awareness and consciousness at the foundation of understanding who we are and understanding God, and that we are a God being that is experiencing a physical form. When you hear people saying so-and-so is unconscious, it means they are still alive. There's some element of being alive. Like when you're sleeping, you're also not conscious. You're not aware of your being. You're not aware of who you are, what you're doing, what is going on. But that ability to be aware that I'm here and this is what I'm doing, this is the hand, I'm moving the hand, I'm talking now, let me say this. That's what we are saying is consciousness. So everything we do in our work life or this life we live on this planet is based on our consciousness. Actually, some people go as far as saying God is consciousness. Because if we are not conscious, then we cannot exhibit or give glory to God or give a good reflection to God, the God in us. And that consciousness as you can imagine, is also drawing from the condition of your heart. So if you read that text about the heart, we did discuss the science there, the science of the heart, the fact that it pumps the air and it takes in oxygen, and the oxygenated blood is supplied, pumped by your heart and taken, gains your signature, which is your individual soul signature, and is taken to all other parts of your body in order to give it life. So we breathe in air, the spirit of God is in the air, and because we are from that maker that is spirit, that essence. The essence is not just the usual air, because in the air, in this space, we say it's not just the air by itself. There's an essence that people call by many names, or an ether that is supreme, that animates all our life. And that the heart cannot live without it, but also the heart is the one that keeps making it work for all the other parts of the human body. So when we breathe in the ether, it goes through the lungs to our heart, is cleaned in the lungs, enters in our heart, and it picks your individual signature as a person, your individual soul signature, and is sent to the different parts of the body. So whatever condition is in your heart is what the blood, the oxygenated blood, will take in those few seconds. Every time you breathe in and out, it's picking that signature and taking it to the rest of the parts of the body, and then pulls out what is unnecessary, and you exhale it out. Now, this is the ongoing process of life, but being aware of it, being conscious of it, can help us to master how to clean ourselves of unwanted things, but also how to, to live in a way that when we breathe in air, we know it's not just taking in air or taking in the atmosphere. We are taking in something much stronger, which is coming to work within our body, and we make sure we intentionally make it do that work, do the cleaning it's supposed to do, and then when we output, we also output whatever we think is unnecessary and output it to the world. Now, before we go into our topic deep, I want you to remember again in our reference to the Bible that in the Old Testament, in the book of Proverbs 4:23, King Solomon said that above all else, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Actually, other versions say that all your life flows from it. Guard your heart. I already gave you the quote from the Bhagavad Gita, which is informed by a lot of Buddhist teaching and Hinduism. Then in John 7:38, Jesus, the leading master, really to have walked this earth, told us that whoever believes in me, as scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water. And I hear people singing these songs, living water. It's saying that if you believe on him, if you know who he is, and you know that based on him, now you're able to do what you can, what you can do by that power of God in him, then out of your heart will flow rivers of living water. Probably the one that can take us a little deeper is, allow me to read completely Matthew 15, verse 11 to 20. Jesus said, it is not what goes into one's mouth that defiles a person. What comes out of the mouth is what defiles him. In 12, they are saying, the disciples approached and said to him, do you realize the Pharisees were greatly offended when they heard what you said? He answered, every plant that my Father has not planted will be uprooted. Leave them alone. They are blind guides. And if one is blind, if one blind person guides another, they will both fall into a pit. Peter said to him, explain that parable to us. Jesus replied, are even you still without understanding? Do you not realize what goes into the mouth passes through the stomach and is discharged into the sewer. But what comes out of the mouth originates in the heart and is what defiles a person. For from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, fornication, theft, perjury, slander. These are the things that defile a person, but to eat with unwashed hands does not make anyone clean. I want us to take a moment and reflect on that before we dive into heart-based consciousness, to really appreciate that it is the condition of our heart that matters in this world. It's not just that, even in usual life here, they tell us if you have a heart attack, many people die from a heart attack. I don't like this spirit of comparing things, but many people can live with a brain that does not work well, but it's hard to live without a heart that is operating well. Because all life stems from there. It is something you need to give yourself time to understand, to appreciate. And the best way to do it is through mindfulness, through meditation, through sitting down and going into your heart and asking. The heart has every answer in this world because within it is God himself. There are different chambers within the heart. And there's that central chamber, as you read, if you read, where you can go and commune with the divine, where the divine spark rests. So people who tell you they're doing meditation, it's not just the going quiet. If you go quiet and you don't go into that heart center, Jesus himself in Matthew 5:6 did say that don't be like the hypocrites who pray, making noise so that everyone can see them. Go inside your heart in secret. Pray to your Father who hears in secret, and he will answer your prayers. Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to think about how we pray. With all this guidance, before us, we still go and, do these usual prayers of shouting, talking, when your heart hardly minds what you're saying. I dare say that even some of us from the Catholic Church, like myself, we say a lot of prayers, including one of our Father, without taking anything to heart. And unless something originates from the heart, it cannot be real in the spiritual realm of God, in the unseen realm, which is the heavenly realm. So we must mind what is the status of our heart. And this is where we came to discuss about heart-based consciousness. So this heart-based consciousness is a transformative way of understanding our daily life experiences. As you are aware, there are many forces around us influencing our choices, decisions, triggering a lot of emotions every day, and structuring our thinking patterns. And many of us live in moods that can be injurious to us, that might not lead us to a good life. But because, as we say, we are human, everything comes and affects you. Either you get overexcited, you get angry, you hate, you dislike, you judge, and some of these can take you off the path. So we're saying that these kinds of conflicting things that do come to us, conflicts with others emerge now and then, almost unavoidably, and the fixations on thought follows as riverbanks after waterfall, redirecting our mood, words, and actions. Like many things happen. Some of us, even when we read the newspaper, we get annoyed. You watch the news, you're annoyed. You hear something, you're annoyed. You see someone looking at you, you react. But we are saying if we know the condition of our heart, because when you are angry, it doesn't matter what has angered you. It is that anger that is in the heart that the spirit, the God power is going to come and pump to the rest of your body. And it's what will be dominating at any time. And we are saying if we can remember to base our understanding, our awareness from the condition of the heart, we would be very careful not to inject or to keep bad feelings into the heart, because that's where life is flowing from. So heart-based consciousness can be translated as a paradigm for how to react and deal with these daily challenges as they arise. And simply said, the idea is literally act based on what the heart is telling you always. So when something happens, ask your heart, In my own language, in my language where I come from in Bunyoro, people usually ask that, what is your heart saying? That don't ask him what is his heart saying. That even if someone is talking, they can say things that are not coming from their heart. Then when they want you to really internally reflect, they say that you ask the aunt of the heart. So these traditions, this knowledge has been known for generations and generations in all cultures. That what is real in a person is not about what they say, what they are showing off in actions out here, but what really matters, what they really are, what they believe, what they can do and they can't do is what is in their heart. And in heart-based consciousness, we are saying that we have to be aware and ask always the heart, what do you say about this? If someone has fallen, does your heart say love? Does your heart say good for you? If someone abuses you, what does the heart say? Does the heart say, if someone says you're stupid, does the heart say you're stupid? What does your heart say? And if you can learn to listen to the heart, we would get a lot of answers for this school called life. So this means that regardless of how troubled the situation may seem, there is always a way of redefining it by looking at it from a more empathetic perspective, with more loving, with more kindness, or through the prism of affinity to the other person's pain. Remember, I've already said that usually the person who is abusing is the one who is in pain, is the one who brings out what is in their heart. So the one who says another person is stupid is the one who has stupidity in their heart. Otherwise, it cannot come out. Remember, what comes out is what is injurious. So the one saying it is actually the one. So you, instead of reacting and feeling bad, you should feel compassion for this person, for the situation of their heart. And by sending these signals, we have yet to do a session on energy. It's this energy exchange that makes us alive. But we are saying to grow and master, we must learn to know the situation of our heart. And when we see people's actions, know that it is the bad situation of their heart and feel empathy for them so that they can change their situation and be able to say or do much nicer things that grow others, that bring more helpful emotions to others, so that even us, we become unaffected because we understand that if someone, for example, says something sort of what you call bad about you, and you take it, then it means you're also not thinking from the heart. You are reacting quickly based on what they have said, yet it's not in your heart. It has come from theirs. So you must guard your heart, like Solomon is telling us. You must guard your heart from what is entering there. In the notes that we gave you, we are talking about doors. There are several doors. I've heard even in normal speak people say that I've opened for you all the doors into my heart. Some people even say from the deepest bottom of my heart. Some people say from the bottom of my heart. Others say the deepest bottom. We know that there are compartments within the heart, and there are places for many emotions, many considerations. We are saying, so first be aware, ask the heart what it's thinking, but also guard it from things coming from other people's hearts. Keep it primed to your simple and correct understanding that one, be always well, God is in you, God resides in you, and if God is in your heart, therefore nothing bad can happen to you. Even if someone said it is not true of you. So just feel pity for the other person because they are the ones outputting something that is negative. But also above all, you also avoid having any negative, thinking, any negative considerations that now you're going to pass on to others, because those show the situation of your heart. So we're saying that since we all live through painful situations in this world, you know what pains when there is pain. When you get pain, pain is felt with the senses, but the burden really lies on the heart because it's the key organ of the body. So one way of showing more love-like experiences is first letting go of conflict by being sympathetic and respectful with others' inner battles. So we're saying those who operate from the heart, we understand that whatever someone is outputting in their mouth, in their actions, is the result of their heart, is the condition of their heart. And people have a lot of battles, a lot of things they are dealing with. So instead of judging them, how can they say this? How can they do this? How could they say that? First, be empathetic with them. Understand that there are situations in their heart that need cleansing, need cleaning. It's why they are doing or saying what they are saying. And for you who is able to realize that you are now mastering, you're going at a higher level of first avoiding to bring what is another person's heart into your heart. Otherwise, when you are taken up and you are angered, then you are picking whatever anger they push from their heart and bring it into yours. And it's going to affect your own heart. It's going to transfer to all your other body parts, bring you disease, what you call disease, and cause you concern, cause you to lose attention to the most important things in life that may be happening at any one time. So this requires being invariably immersed in compassion and understanding for human limitations. That you see in this world where we are, while we all have God in us, our capacity to understand and and express God is at different levels, and we have to be patient with each other. Some people have not yet understood the things you know. It's like looking at a P1 child and you wonder why they cannot write in a straight line. It's or why someone cannot walk, run when they are 1 year. It's understanding that someone is at a different level of growth, and this is at the level which they see things, but with it in the right time, with the right exposure, they will also get to understand and then become better in their heart. And when they become better, the words that come out of them, the actions that come out of them will be those that give more life, give more peace, give more love to the world. So in finding the certainty that there is a place within oneself that is never disturbed from any outside force, is what we are calling heart-based consciousness. So this calls that you grow to that level where you can see situations, take in everything as it comes, whether they are abuses, whether they are bad actions, and don't feel offended because you understand where they are coming from. They are coming from another dirty heart, so to speak, and you don't want it to affect your own heart. So you become undisturbed from any outside force. The heart-based consciousness works so hard to protect the status of your heart in the purity of your heart, your own heart, so that it's not affected by other hearts out there that are in pain, that are struggling, that are injured, that are in lack, that are wandering, that are not focused, because they are there and they are all our brothers and sisters. But we must have empathy for them, but don't allow their concerns, their situations to enter into ours. And in heart-based consciousness, we want to grow that understanding. First, be aware what is in the heart, but also know what is another person's heart based on what they are saying, and guard yours so that you're not affected. They are able to pass, they come through you like a sponge. The other time we talked about a sponge, that even air, water, go through it. Things should be able to come through you and go out the way they came without affecting any part of you, because they are not you, they don't define you. If someone says your family is very poor, they are saying it is not the one, it is the poverty in their heart that is making them say that. So you don't have to go on the defensive to say you have this and that, or that you are very good people. It is the other person. You can only say what is in your heart. You can only express what is in your heart. So you're saying work on cleaning yours, but also be compassionate to others and make sure that others' things don't affect you. Find that serenity, find that peace that cannot be disturbed by outside forces, because nothing in this world has the power to move away, to move anyone, you or any other person, from the center, which is your heart. If you decide that this will not affect me, nobody can. The challenge, of course, in this world, we are told, even when you are falling into relationships, you say you're giving each other your hearts, then they get broken. Some of them get shattered, and doesn't result always in a good experience. And this topic is not for babies, it's not for people who are just growing, because we must have faced enough before we can really understand what much injury we have done to the heart and how it has affected us, but also what it takes to really grow and move from these kinds of bad forces that do come from others, so that we maintain a level of serenity, a level of peace, knowing that it is always well. The other person, I'm sure all of us have someone in life who was once rude, bad to us, said nasty things to us, but they turned out well. They later realized they were mistaken, or even if what they said was a temporary condition in your heart. That's why you say you had a change in heart. It could actually be you with the bad situation, a bad thinking. And when you have that change in heart, a change in thinking, you become clean, and then your what producing is good for those that you're interacting with. So we are saying this is about guarding the interest and of your own interest, which is to keep centered in your heart, to live within the heart, which some people, of course, in the spiritual realm, the spiritual teachers are calling living in the fourth dimension. So in fact, in finding the courage to access and accept and heal our hidden emotional wounds, one will realize that there is nothing wrong with this world at all. All the things we keep complaining, whether it's about Museveni, Bobi Wine, Businge, your parents, your employers, you realize that nothing is wrong. It's just your own way of taking it. That if you understood that's how the other person thinks and you cannot change it, and it's within their heart, you can only but pray for them to change, have a change in their heart. That's why when Jesus came, his first message was repent. Repent means have a change in thinking. And I'm sure I want to believe you have heard about thinking from your heart and feeling from your brain. For you to be able to master, to live at level of mastery, you must have the capacity to make sure all your thoughts are coming from a much internal place than this ever spiraling brain, which is why meditation is encouraged to go in and feel and be calm and let ideas come to you, so that you're living in the flow that we discussed. You're living in surrender. You're not struggling with anything. You're not here trying to create anything. We said God has already created everything. You can only fall into place and flow with what God has created. All the things we want in the world, we said, are in people. These people were not born by you. Even the ones you think are yours, they are actually not yours. They are people with other responsibilities. Even the child, a man and a woman must come together. You alone cannot do anything. Even Jesus said, I of myself cannot do anything. It's the Father in heaven that doeth the things. So if we can understand this level of purity of heart and manage to live in it, then we will be immune to every level of every kind of injury, every kind of potential damage that can come to us from others who are doing or saying anything related to that would injure normally other people. So it's about learning to protect your heart. And we're saying that the issue in is the unwise and individual pattern that we learn to adopt when managing our relationships. The main thing that you have to start washing off is how we have grown. Every family has enemies. Many of us even have a lot of prayers about enemies. My enemies, my enemies, my enemies. You God yourself cannot have enemies. These things we've grown with them. Do you think whoever says something does not like you? Whoever takes something from you does not like you? People are expressing what is in their hearts, and you want to block the situation of their heart from coming into yours. Otherwise, you take up the disease that they have, they will transfer it to you. The condition they have, they will transfer it to you. So we're saying take a step back and place consciously your heart in front of the need to, placing that heart in the need to choose others or submit your opinion is what is causing us problems. But if we can learn, to submit to the opinions of others, to the feelings of others, and know this is what they are saying, this is their condition. So that is what we are calling the beginning of heart-based consciousness. That well, he thinks I'm rude, but it is in him. It is the one feeling the rudeness, not me. So you empathize with him or her. It's what they are feeling right now. It's okay, and you work to make sure you can maintain your peace, the cleanness of your heart, the good intentions, the love, and then let that flow. And if they don't find anything, the other time in expression, when we did the session on expression, we said, I told you I like Wayne Dyer a lot. He taught a lot about expression. We are here to express God, and we are saying God is love. So every time someone should touch your heart, should do anything from you, if you are really one with God, only love should be coming out. Huh? When someone is expressing you, is pressing you. When you're expressing or pressing yourself, what comes out of you is what is in the heart. Just like we said, juice. If you express a mango, what comes out of it is the mango, the juice in it. If you express an orange, what comes out is, it does not matter who expresses it. Whether it's a machine, whether it's the hand of a pregnant woman, whether it's a child, so long as it's expressed, it will always bring out juice. So we're saying we want to grow our hearts so that they are filled with the God that is resident there. And when we let it be the God who is unjudging, who is unbothered with other things, because everybody is just being the situation of their heart, that we're able to send out only love, only compassion, so that people can live and see from your example, also from the positive energy coming from you, that they can continue to also grow in goodness, in emitting good vibrations to the world, so that the world can become a better place when we all empathize with each other and live for each other's good. So I think the focus must lie entirely on ending whichever fight is going on with whoever you may be, and creating a space of harmony within yourself. You have to loosen care. I'm not saying you don't care at all about anything, but you must know that you are I am, you are God himself. And is the one that resides there. The I am, we said, the I am that was 1 year. The I am was 10 years. The I am that you are now, the I am that you keep being, is not the teacher, is not the journalist, is not the student, is not. So all those things bothering you are not you. You have to keep that calm of presence of who you really are. And that is what is in the heart. And the heart should bring out that reality of who you are. And we're saying from all the lessons we've been doing and all the learnings we have been sharing, that God expects us to come here and express him and give glory, give a good reflection. So when people abuse you, they should see the reaction of God from you. When they push you, when they cheat you, they should see the reaction of God from you. It's when you live at a level of mastery and stop the injuries, the abuses going on and multiplying. Because when everyone replies the other way, tries to push the other, an eye for an eye, they told us, and the whole world will be blind. So living in the heart consciousness is about this growth, this maturity in understanding and in being, especially in being, because the heart is just there. It is there all the time. It is the being. When we say I am a being, a human being, I don't know if we understand it. Who you are is a being, the God being. And the being is you creating, you're co-creating with the supreme power, which is God. So the situation that you are is who you are. And that situation comes from the heart. So the goal when we talk about heart-based consciousness is to is not to convince anyone that heart-based consciousness is something that can simply be turned on now, like you switch on. No. So the art of living fully heart-based requires practice. It is time-consuming. Even many of us are still in that journey. It demands the continuous and the progressive tuning of our being in first becoming free from hurtful mental and social patterns. You must stop being a person who is always getting hurt. That person annoyed me. That person did this. How could they do this? Those people, I don't like them. The Banyora like this. The Aluru are like if you can loosen up on that feeling hurt, or they did this to us, they abused my mother, they stop being hurt, stop those mental, hurtful, and social patterns. Then you are on your way from, because this is not about you. People, they are the ones doing it in their heart, not you. So why do you let it enter into yours and injure yours as well? So that it becomes darkened, and then we continue piling more and more dirt. So it is possible to say that the cornerstone of building such a consciousness has as a fundamental property the need for ending suffering and finding the true expression of oneself. So for us to bring out the God in us, which is the true being, we must end this kind of suffering. We must end thinking we are, we are victim. We have to end the victim mentality and know it is others acting, not you. Others, this is the situation of their heart, not you. And also avoid having any bad feeling, whether doubt, whether disapproval against anyone. Because remember, we said everyone is at their different level of growth and expression. You don't know what situation they are going in. Instead, feel empathy for them and pray that they can get to a level where they are more calm. They are also just a pure being without any issues, just like a baby. You know, when a baby is just born and they are still pure, they don't matter what is happening. I'm sure you have heard that even the plane can crash and all people die and they find only the baby remaining. Or a house, something can happen, an accident in a car, and you find only the baby remaining. Because for them, they have nothing, they're not aware of anything. They're just a pure being. There's nothing in there. So even most of those things, bad situations, you're attracting them because of the situation of our heart. Now, this might be difficult for some people to take, but it's what it is. Most of the bad things happening in our life, we're attracting them because of the situation of our heart. If we can clear it of all those, even if someone sends you bad things, they will not come if you don't receive them. God has created everyone in such a way that you are fully protected by both psychic powers, spiritual powers, that you cannot be entered by any power unless you accept. It is how it is. You have to allow, and the one way of allowing it in is by feeling, through your feelings. We said the feelings, or what we call emotions, are the energy in motion. So when someone abuses you and you take it in, you are the one taking it in. If you feel someone is bewitching you, you are the one taking it in. But whether they do their antics, even if they came and sprawled what around, and you just feel sorry for them, because they don't know what they're doing, nothing can affect you. There's nothing that can enter you. So whatever is affecting you from others is just because you get into their mood, into their feelings, into their emotions, and take them on as if they're yours, and then get these bad signatures that can influence your life. So we're saying, as masters, let's grow in mastery towards heart-based consciousness. Because in this state, we as individuals operate from a place of love, empathy, and interconnectedness with all beings and the universe. If it rains, you don't have to be annoyed. Some of us get very annoyed. It has rained, it has shined. Recently, people were passing a message around about the sun, how you do this, do that, and you wonder where people get all this. It's going to shine and rain whether you like it or not. Ours is to keep expressing love, and our loving God will tune things accordingly to our wishes, if only we can trust him. Now people are already, in less than a month, they're already complaining of rain. We cannot, we said their laws at the beginning. Their laws, their rhythms. There is a flow to things. When something goes up, it must come down. So when it rains, at some time it has to shine. This should not bother us. They should not affect the condition of your heart. It's you to learn the things that are, just like the fact that there are other beings like you, and they have their feelings and thoughts, and those you should learn for them not to impact you in any significant way. Just understand them, commiserate with them, and go on with your life. So we're saying in this state, we operate from a place of love, empathy, and interconnectedness with all beings and the universe. So developing this heart-centered consciousness involves creating qualities such as compassion, empathy, of course we've said, love, and kindness. And I want to share with you 10 specific tips that I have prepared for you to live in a heart-based consciousness. So number one is practice mindfulness and self-awareness. Practice mindfulness and self-awareness, which is equivalent of which is to meditate. Like, you must go into your heart. We said sit still for at some point in the day, at least once a day, and think about your heart. Just think about your heart without thinking every other thing. And smile at it. Acknowledge that everything comes from there, and that you are thankful that it is in a good state. If there are things that are burdening you, ask that they leave. Ask the heart, that whatever pain might be there, can it leave? Because you want to live in calmness, you want to live in peace, so that it can live and live your heart to live the way it's supposed to live. So you need to practice that ability to go within and think about your heart and be aware of who you are, that all your awareness raises from the heart. And you can ask anything from your heart. Ask it anything. What should I do about ABCD? How can I get this? Learn to go within and ask your heart of the things that you desire. How best can I apply for this job? Ask your heart. It has all the answers. Is this a woman I can trust? Ask your heart. Since it's connected to the God power, it knows everything in this world. But just that you don't go in and give it attention and ask it. If you can learn to go in there. So take time to reflect on your emotions, thoughts, and actions from the heart again, was what I did the best I could do? Is this the best reflection of me as a person who is one with God and one with everything? So this mindfulness meditation can help you become more aware of your inner experiences and develop a deeper connection to your heart. That practice of going within and asking yourself, being quiet and in your heart, can clear a lot of things. And you're able to be more centered, more heart-centered, and live on heart-based consciousness. Number 2 is cultivate love and compassion. Engage in acts of kindness and empathy towards others. Practicing the humanity in everyone you encounter and try to understand their perspective and experiences. It's what we are saying, even the nasty people. Look at them as human beings struggling with something. Know there's something why they're acting the way they are doing. Don't just see the rudeness. See someone who needs help. Pray for them that they may calm down. That wash off. Use your heart to help them wash off all the dirt that may be affecting them in their heart, so that they can live with much better light. Meet every situation with love and compassion, and you will win most, if not all, the things that will be thrown at you. Because as they say, there is no strength. Jesus advised us that whoever slaps you, turn the other cheek. We take it literally and say we can't, but there is no bigger strength than that. If someone attempts to slap you and you just let them, they will certainly get tired, because people are looking for war. They're looking for a fight. And if you bring it on, everybody is looking for bring it on, and we show each other. So if you can learn to be compassionate, to exhibit love in all situations, even those challenging ones, then you are learning to live in your heart-based consciousness and not letting other people's conditions of other people's hearts to affect you. Number 3, you can connect with nature. Spending time in nature can help you feel more connected to the world around you and foster a sense of gratitude and awe. Walking in a forest, going to a lake and sitting there, walking in trees, in a bush, where there are natural things, not the noise of life, out of the noise of life. If you are able to go and just observe a flower and look at how beautiful it is, and see grass, look at it and see how it has grown from the soil, how it lives there unworried about anything. And they keep regenerating also as well, just like humanity. So if you can learn to connect with nature and see the good things in nature, see the abundance. We said, if you have ever visited a forest, you will see how many trees are there, how many trees are growing, how many edible things are there in abundance. And you will get to know that this world God created this with sufficiency. Look at the water that they draw, the lake. Look at a lake or a river. The river is always flowing and water does not end. Where does it come from? So look at air itself. Where does it come from that it does not get depleted? So if you can learn to connect with nature and appreciate it, you will also appreciate yourself more, but also connect to our true being, which is the natural state. We are part of the natural order that God created, and we're supposed to superintend over this natural order. The other tip is to practice gratitude. This, we've spoken about it in many of our engagements, many of the things. You cannot live in this life and gain without adopting a practice of gratitude. Regularly express gratitude for the people and experiences in your life. Keeping a gratitude journal can help you focus on the positive aspects of your life. Like every day writing 3 or 4 things you're grateful for that day. In our own languages, remember they say that the one who is grateful gets more. It is how nature is. If you cannot find something you're grateful for, if you're not even grateful about the air you breathe, yet you know without the air, you will not even get a job. You will not even eat the food. If you're not grateful about the food you ate, because at work things went badly, you have not yet grown towards the heart-based consciousness. We have to grow in our capacity to appreciate the things that are going well in our life so that we can get more of the things that we are still missing or we think we are missing that have not shown up in our life. Number 5 is to engage in self-care and self-compassion. So take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. You can do this through engaging in activities that bring you joy and practicing self-compassion and the important aspects of developing a heart-centered. Many people, we talk about our call to service in this earth. We are here for others because we must be fruitful and be consumed by others. But remember, the biggest command that the teacher taught us was love. First, of course, love God and honor him, but above also love others, because God resides in others. It's actually one command. Love others. But he said, love others as you do what? As you love yourself. So if you don't love yourself, many of us, the problem is not that we don't love others. The biggest problem is we don't love ourselves. We don't have self-compassion. We judge ourselves so highly. We don't care about ourselves. You do things that don't build you. Every day you are engaging in things that are injurious to your body, to your spirit, to your mind. You don't do things that really build you. And because you don't love yourself, it's hard for you to love others. So you're saying, learn to engage in self-care and self-compassion activities. And we have said these things, what brings you joy? Every day, find something, even if it's listening to music, even if it's dancing, jumping, if it's serving in the community, if it's giving someone something, whatever it is that gives you joy. Find some time and do it, but also practice self-compassion. When things don't go well on your part, out of your omission or commission. In the Catholic Church, when we are starting Mass, we usually do that, you know what we ask for forgiveness for. Things you have done, your thoughts, words, things you have done and things you have failed to do. Even omission is... So many times we judge ourselves too much. Many people are walking around with a lot of judgment sentences against themselves. If I had done this, this would not be like this. If I had not allowed that one, if I had not done... Please, if you want to live in the heart, whatever has happened, know it has happened. It is for your learning. Learn the lesson from it and let it be. Let it go. You are never wrong. It was a lesson you are meant to learn, and then to move on to the next step so that you can experience more and go at a higher level. So learn to have compassion for yourself, but also care for yourself and love yourself so that you are fully equipped to love and honor others. So treating ourselves with kindness and understanding and acceptance creates a nurturing environment for our hearts to flourish. The situation of our heart is much based on how we feel. So if we don't feel well for ourselves, if we don't remove any guilt, any complaining, any judgment on ourselves, then we cannot be in a situation where we are able to ignore and not to judge others. When we judge ourselves, then we judge others. And we're saying in heart-based consciousness, we must live away with all that. Number 6 is seek out positive influences. Surround yourself with people, with the books, watch things, and media that promote love, compassion, and understanding. Many of us have stopped watching TV. Are very careful with even a movie. I don't know when I last watched a movie, because there is too much violence, there is too much judgment, there is too much assumption on people. If you don't protect yourself from those, you cannot live in heart-based consciousness. I'm usually struggling with people in my home. You know, if you look at most of what is in TikTok, judging, complaining, blame placing, blame building, you know, you cannot live in that environment and you live in your heart. You're going to keep suffering because you are taking in the thinking of thousands of people every day, from WhatsApp to TikTok to Twitter, Facebook, newspaper, the TV. People are quarreling, you are taking it in. People are abusing each other, you take it in. People fail to do something, you take it in. Instead of, so if you can learn to stop those things that are likely to bring you those negative influences, you are likely to grow in your capacity to live in heart-based consciousness by surrounding yourself with positive influences only. Because all of us, the way we are capable of being affected and infected by other things that are around us. In my language, they say, aherere kiswa tukura, literally meaning that you are influenced by your environment. If you live near an anthill, you are going to get brownish. It's not avoidable. There is nobody who is perfect. Huh? In Uganda, they even sing that in Bulira Goitanaye, you know that song. Huh? So whatever you don't need to tell someone's character. There are some of us, you know, someone sees with someone and says, why are you moving with such a person? Of course, it's also judgment, but there are situations, like we said, you are not going to wish a given thinking or belief in someone just suddenly. If they are still like that, yes, you treat them with empathy, but does not mean you take it in. You have to identify with it. Love them at a distance. I think you have heard about that. Loving from a distance. You don't have to take them in and acknowledge and live by what they are doing, because it will affect you. And then when you are all affected, there will not be the pure love that we are finding in heart-based consciousness. Okay, we've already talked about, so listening to intuition is the other. Listening to intuition. Now, the heart is often referred to as the seat of intuition. I hope we know what intuition is. They tell us that ladies have a higher sense of intuition than men, but it's that, they call it the sixth sense, the ability to receive information from the world, from the universe. You know, you are there and something just appears to you. You know it's true, but you cannot prove it in the scientific sense. Something just tells you, move out from here, and you move and you just see something else dropping there. Something tells you, call so-and-so, and the person was needing to talk to you. Or you think that is the wrong character, and something tells you that's the wrong character, and you actually find it is true. So the heart is often referred to as that seat of intuition. If we don't go in the heart, we miss. Many of us are not able to tell danger because we don't live in the heart. Tell good things because we don't live in the heart. People who are so mature in this thing, in this, as they say, they can even go in a place they have not been for many years, and they meet there a life-changing opportunity because something will draw them there. God is always communicating to us, to our hearts, but how did we give them the chance to listen and act accordingly? So we are saying, let's learn to listen to intuition. Find time every day, preferably every day, 10 minutes, 20, 30. Go in and just be quiet. Your heart, ask it, tell you what it is that you need to know so that your life is better. Just wait there. Whatever thought is coming, let it come and go. But be asking your heart without saying anything. Tell me, what is it that I need to know? What is next for my life? What should I be doing? And you will see these ideas coming. All the people have invented anything, who have ever done anything, it's where they get the ideas. Because all ideas are already existing. Remember, we said God has already made everything. But to make them manifest, you have to tap into the world knowledge system, the supreme intelligence. And to tap in, you must go in the heart, because that's where you can really have, it's like the heart contains your spiritual antenna that connects to the rest of the world. And for it to tune, it's like if there is a lot of noise from thoughts, from bad feelings, from all these worries of the world, then the antenna cannot pick the signals, because the signals are in the quiet. Remember, even Jesus said, go in your heart, in the quiet. If you don't keep quiet, I usually ask people, why do you think Jesus, in all, they've never told you that he sat down and prayed with his disciples? He never. Why? Huh? They tell you he went aside and went to pray. Because all right prayer has to be in silence, in your heart. It is the way of praying. But now people say they're going for prayers when they are going to do things that don't enter into their heart. Go in church, sing the whole day, nothing related to their heart. And you find clothes matter more than really seeking God. Anyway, I don't want to enter those in my sessions. I don't want to be criticizing anyone because, like I told you, we are all at different levels of growth. But these lessons have been around. So we're saying let's grow intuition and we must go within. The other tip, number 8, is living in alignment with values. When we live in alignment with our core values, we experience a sense of purpose and fulfillment that emanates from the heart. You must have things you say, this is how I do things. Even your character is built from having values. There are things that they will say, so and so cannot do this. So and so will do this if you approach him about this. So aligning our actions with our values allows us to live authentically and in harmony with ourselves and the world around us. Because you are going to affect the world and it's going to affect you. But how it affects you depends on the values that you have taken up. If you say, I will not fight, nobody can make you fight. You must be that unbothered, so that even if someone provokes you to what extent, you're not the kind that will go into that kind of thing. You must be the kind that will not cheat, that will not take someone's money, even if the person did not see, even if the person took their money, that you are the kind that is able to. Those are the kind of things that give your heart a kind of cleanness, a kind of rest that now is able to transmit goodness out and also attract goodness in. Because like attracts like. So the situation of your heart is always attracting what is like it. If you're not grateful, it will attract more. It will not attract things you can be grateful for. It will attract things that you're not grateful for. So we have to learn these simple mechanics. And of course, lastly, we are saying opening the heart chakra. When we do discuss energy and flow, we shall discuss more about this, about the chakras, the 7 chakras. But the heart is one of the centers, one of the energy centers in the body. It's called the 4th chakra. These are like energy batteries within your body that help you to both receive and send out energy, receive and send out energy, receive and send out energy. So the heart chakra, in many spiritual traditions, the heart chakra is the bridge between the mind and the spirit. Whether you look at the Hindu, at the Buddhists, you look at the Chinese who live in the Tao Te Ching. You look even in African traditions, you look even in Christianity, like we have said, when you look at the teachings, they're saying the heart, mind the heart, mind the heart, mind the heart. Jesus even said, don't bring your things to the altar. If anything is not right with your heart, first go and reconcile before you bring your offering. Never, ever. Because the situation of your heart matters most. You cannot come to God when you have anything against anyone in your heart. They even told us that cheating, just looking at someone admiring you, have already cheated, because what matters is in the heart. So this heart, we want to live there. We want to know that it's a very important organ, a very important place, but it's also our real being. It's where our real being resides. So through meditation and practices like loving kindness, you can gently release blockages and allow your heart's energy to flow. We said even for disease, when we are teaching people how to do self-healing, how to heal yourself, the most important exercise is first of all breathing, but also with your heart. You breathe in, you take in a loving breath, because you know you're taking in air from the Almighty, from the ultimate source, from infinity. You're taking in very clean, great energy from God, and then you wash out consciously. Remember, we're saying be conscious about it. You wash out and send out all the dirty things that are bothering you, and you send them out. So that your energy, you free your body of anything that may not be working well. If you feel any pain, any kind of pain, does not matter what it is, wherever it is, Think about it in your heart. Think about it. Understand that it is there. But tell it that it's not supposed to be there. And tell it to get away. Get away. And if you do that within your heart, because remember, every air you breathe gets a signature, then is sent to the body. So you're ideally commanding your energy through the oxygenated blood to go and do that work. Remember, in science, they tell you have white blood cells, red blood cells, some are for fighting, some are bodybuilding. Don't think these things are unfounded, but they have spiritual foundations. You can order your heart to do things. To heal, especially to heal, is the natural way of life. Okay, so remember that developing a heart-centered consciousness is a journey, and it's important to be patient and kind to yourself as you work towards this goal. So I want to stop here. So tomorrow or on Wednesday, I'll find some time so that we complete this session on heart-based consciousness, especially the spiritual session, or living in fourth density consciousness, so that we understand how we can grow from this usual living in things and start creating from the heart. Start the process of creating from the heart so that we can live the life that we desire, because we have allowed our hearts to be the center of our life. We have allowed their hearts to be the drivers of our life. So thank you very much for your attention. I'll take your questions and contributions. Any questions and contributions? Hello? Any questions or contributions? Okay, if there aren't any, allow me to stop here and pray that many of us can get the courage to reflect on this heart-based consciousness and start practicing going in every day. Going in, keeping quiet and listening to your heart. Smile at it. Feel the love within. And if there are any cares, any burdens in the heart, in the Bible, they say Jesus said, cast all the burdens to him. Send them away like you would be cleaning your heart. Say, please, God, handle this that is bothering me. Get them out so that you only keep their love. Whatever is bothering you, send it out. And when other people attempt to push things that are burdening to you, give them back compassion instead. Understand their situation, understand that they are at that stage, or they are in pain, or they are facing that, and that's how they look at things, but don't allow them to enter you and affect you, because they are going to affect the kind of life you give and what good things you are going to be able to attract into your life. So may we grow in this understanding, in living to the trueness of our being, which is in our heart, and that in our heart we can keep it pure with love, with care, with kindness and compassion, so that we can exhibit God at all times. Thank you and have a blessed evening.